I sigh, shaking my head some as I pick up the rifle and plop myself by a window in the dining room. TJ looks most surprised at the weapon in my grasp, the Lynx actually stepping back. Jenna puts her phone down and Carl stops as apologizing to Daxton.
Sorry.
At that moment, Leo steps out of the bathroom. A long piss.
The whole time, just a constant
That was
stream.
so much piss.
He said he really had to.
That was the least plot essential piss so far.
Wow.
Like every piss so far has been a load-bearing piss. Like it's
It's
been important to the story. Like someone usually almost dies whenever someone pisses, or it's of course Janice, the canonical of the canon event of
the very
of Echo.
the very plot important piss.
Yeah. He doesn't move. He just looks at the rifle, then me. Oh, what the hell? These idiots act like they've never seen a gun before. For fuck's sake. I bring the rifle up to my chest. Y'all don't gotta worry, I just have this to shoot you for all I just have this to shoot you all for treating me like shit all these years. I smirk, snickering some. No one else laughs. Yeah, no, if you were... That was not the way to...
to
that
ease
was not
the tension.
the way to use the tension at all. Like, you... Haha, what if I shot you all? Funny. This is unfortunate sprite placement in that TJ's ear reads as being Leo's mouth, and I just wish that they didn't do that.
Yeah, no, I noticed that immediately.
Character.
As soon as Leo showed up from pissing, I noticed it immediately.
I just wish they put them in any different position. Even as I peer to Carl, he just looks down at his hooves. It was a fucking joke. I'm joking. You guys are so stupid. Way to go, Flynn.
Thumbs up, Flynn.
I turned, shifting focus to the outside. It's nearly nightfall now. Everything looks normal. There's some smoke way off in the distance, but it's too far to really be of much concern. It's the final night.
Yes, it is.
I can't get a hold of Chase. No shit.
The signal in the area is erratic. We couldn't get a call out to 911.
Is that why Gila Gunslinger's over there by the window? I sneer.
Yes, he sees it on us being protected.
That's smart. I left my piece at home.
Oh god, not you too. Let's just make some dinner instead.
We're not gonna talk about what happened?
I'm sorry. Right now, I just want to eat. There's a lot here to unpack, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, but we can do better than what happened earlier.
I find myself actually surprised. I never would have figured I'd hear those words from Jenna, especially with TJ around. You know, I'd kill for some carne asada right now, yeah?
Luckily, there's a gun in the room, so I can kill for some carne asada. See, dude, me and Daxton, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully not literally. Flynn's already got that planned.
Here's the audience insert.
He is the audience insert.
Yeah, I heard. It gives me a bit of a cold look. What the hell is his problem? I'm the goddamn victim here. Not that I ever put it like that.
I haven't exactly grocery shopped to host a party of...
Daxton stops, starting to count all of us.
6.
The salamander opens the fridge, staring into it as if looking into a particularly deep canyon.
We got leftover salad, some fruit, cream cheese...
Purple stuff. Sunny D!
Sunny D!
There's a frozen bass in the fridge.
There's
like it's thawing, I guess? Like, why is it in the fridge if it's frozen?
It's because it's thawing.
Yeah.
There's literally a frozen bass in the fridge downstairs. That is mine.
Whoa. Is it thawing?
No.
You're thawing your bass?
A coworker gave it to me because a coworker gave me a whole fucking bass. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what to do with it.
Oh, you mean it's in the freezer?
Yeah, it's in the freezer.
It's frozen in the freezer as opposed to this one.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what
He's
you do.
confused.
It's got. I think it's got
like
bones in it still.
Like you still have to like prep it and stuff.
The organs are gone. Like it took.
Okay.
It's cleaned out. The head's off.
Okay.
The tail's off. But it
figure out
it
how
has
to
the
process
bones.
this.
But also,
He's got to look up a YouTube tutorial and just be adventurous.
I was told that bass is really fishy and that it's not very good because it's freshwater bass from like around. And I'm like,
you can also just throw it away and go, great, good.
it's okay. I don't work with that guy anymore.
It's great.
He got HR'd. So
you got you've got mysterious HR'd coworker bass.
yeah, he got HR'd.
The suspicious bass now. Just throw it away. You don't need to live this bass life.
I don't want to throw away a whole bass. Like, it seems disrespectful.
To the bass?
To the bass.
Coworker?
I don't care about the coworker.
I'm
part of the reason why you got HR'd. So.
You want a bass?
Not with bones in it. I don't trust that dog to figure out how to take the bones.
Just take the bones out and then feed it to the bass.
I don't trust myself to take the bones out.
Well, then what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Boil it?
No, you don't boil meat.
I made some bass broth. Don't have to do with this either, honestly.
I don't know.
But, I did something, so
leave some.
I can feel productive.
In the comments, what should Stephanie do with the bass in the freezer? Let me know.
What do you think about Leo's elbow dimple? You ever notice his elbow dimple?
Not really until right now.
I stop and look at it all the time. It just shows up. I'm like, he's got an elbow dimple. I'm just like, I don't know if that is the kind of detail you'd see through fur. It's like impressive.
Also, how do you get that? Do people have those?
An elbow dimple?
Yeah.
You just have like spots on your body.
I have mine on my face.
Just different amounts of like fat or muscle might just reveal like certain things that happen in certain poses. You just get little pockets.
Well, the
little pockets.
Dimples are from shortened tendons. Like basically, you have tendons in a place where they're shorter than they should be. So what it's doing is it's pulling the skin. Not inwards.
Always though, because you can also get ass dimples.
That's from that too.
Isn't that just fat?
Well, no, I think
your ass has tendons.
You can't get ass dimples if you're not genetically prone to ass dimples, no matter how fat.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I don't think it's just tendons in your ass.
Well, there's still muscles in your whole body. Like, I'll look it up, but
give us
I'll look up ass tendons.
I expect a 3,000 word dissertation on ass dimples in our comment section by tomorrow. That's your assignment.
I just know the ones in my face are genetic deformity.
Deformity.
They are technically a deformity, and that's why I have these fucking holes in my face.
How the fuck do you define deformity anyway? Like there's a normal human somewhere that everyone's compared against. Like the meter
it's Jesus
or the gram.
Adam or something. Adam and Eve or whatever.
Like this piece of metal is the kilogram, the official kilogram that all kilograms are compared against. Like where's our natural like standard measurement human?
There's the philosophy that bases it's all about that, where like in heaven there is the perfect version of every single thing, and what we consider like basically we're just basing everything off of that. And there is an idea of perfection that doesn't exist on Earth because it exists like out in fucking.
There's a game based on that.
I want to say it's like
there's a game with that
Plato
idea,
but
that game is basically hell. The game Control is about like only the prototypical example of each concept can exist here. Like when you see a phone, it is like that red phone with the rotor dial and the fucking overhanging like on top like handle for the receiver. Like in Control, everything is supposed to be like the archetypical example of that concept.
I guarantee you that that's based off that philosophy. I want to say it's either Socrates or Plato. That's one of those. Like, I think that's, and then the whole shadow in the cave thing, I think, is kind of based off that. We're only seeing the shadows of the perfect thing on Earth. And in heaven, there's the perfect thing.
Are those related?
Yeah.
I don't know. I vaguely know the whole like shadows on the wall of a cave thing, because the people that go out to the real world and see the reality and so on, but I don't know the entire wider cult context necessarily.
I don't know. I hate philosophy. Moral of the story: I've dated a bunch of guys who are always like, "I'm a philosopher," and it's always guys that do that.
I'm really into Jordan Peterson.
Oh God.
I glance over and a few of them grimace. Of course.
We got a blender. Can make some smoothies with the kefir, yogurt, milk, and fruit. Maybe a side salad with it. I mean, I'm assuming y'all have just been quaffing down the local diner junk all week, so it might be nice.
Carl, TJ, and Jenna exchange looks with each other. Leo, meanwhile, seems to be tapping at his phone, occasionally looking out the window.
That'll work. Thank you, Daxton, and apologies for all this.
I didn't say it was fine. Some of that's my shit. Daxton gives me a dull look. Without further word, he takes out the big bowl of leftover salad and sets it to the counter, along with a grocery bag of fruit. Correct response. This is the
just ignore.
That is the response of somebody who has lived with Flynn. And it's like, all right, ignoring your bullshit, powering through this. I feel my teeth start to grit, so I shift my focus outside again. Still no signs of life beyond the usual distant spots of light, each coming and going down the highway around the canyon. The smoke I noticed earlier, rising up near the res, looks like it's billowing higher, though. Despite everything, it's actually sort of nice out. The temperature's okay, with some light cloud cover that only partially veils the purple-orange hues of the dusky sky. It's the sort of night I'd usually like to spend outside on the porch, drinking tea and whittling on some balsa. Daxton's usually quiet, cooped up in his room with his fantasy shit. I don't know how I feel about the music he usually has playing, but it's not bad. To think, 30 miles away, Peyton's bustling with 100,000 people all enjoying their Saturday night. Hell, back in the day, it used to be a tiny ranching community that serviced Echo, kept everyone fed and such. 30 miles in the other direction, you got the res. Population keeps dwindling from that place too, no matter how much money the feds give them to live there. All the young folk just pack up and get out while they can, and the rest generally don't do too hot. Finally, 65 miles to the east, you've got the Jericho Proving Grounds. I remember back when I was a tweeny little jarhead, fussing to my uncle to take me there. They only did tours twice a year, and there's a huge wait list. I had expected there to be a giant hole in the ground the size of Echo Canyon, but there was pretty much nothing. Dust and sediment and filled it all in over the span of 75 years. Dry grass and shrubs had even sprouted on top. All that was left was just a torn up hunk of a 3-ton cylinder that burned so hot the metal liquefied and pooled beneath it. What are we talking about? 3-ton cylinder that like burned or exploded?
I'm assuming it means like
the Jericho Proving Grounds?
A truck?
Is a bomb?
The metal liquefied and pulled beneath it. It makes me think it's like a truck that lit on fire.
Because I said that...
Like what?
It's some place that the jarhead him wanted to go to, which means like military.
3-ton cylinder of what?
Did they test bombs here? Like nukes?
But that doesn't make sense for the metal liquefying and pooling.
I don't know. You could walk through the site and have no idea there was where a fucking A-bomb was dropped. I figured it out.
Oh, did they drop it on a 3-ton cylinder?
The 3-ton cylinder is the bomb.
Why would it melt? It would just explode.
Just the heat. It's like I'm saying like the like whatever was left of like the cylinder probably.
I'm having a hard time visualizing
melted.
This.
So I'm like, we're in the Midwest. A lot of like there was parts of the Midwest that definitely had like nuclear testing and stuff.
Well, I want to go to like Nuketown,
like Nevada,
or like the Hills Have Eyes land.
Nevada is just two. It's basically just 2 cities and a bunch of like nuclear testing and like toxic waste. What a great state to be in. If it weren't for the big black obelisk they erected... Well, if it weren't for the big black obelisk they erected up top. Which, now is just another spot for visitors to take photos of themselves. Man mustn't forget the past, for the past will not forget man, it reads. Reminds me of that whole push from country that... to make the mine some fucking tourist spot. just slap a plaque up there with a little blurb about all the death and shit. It'll make a great selfie spot. Traffic is traffic, right? Hell, call it haunted and you'll get even more weirdos coming out to exploit it.
Well, it's funny because that's what happens.
Yeah, who would ever come to Echo looking for a haunted spot in, say, the sequel to Echo, the actual plot of Arches?
Well, he's calling the future.
Yeah, like Chase. As I hear the background noise of muffled conversation and Daxton trying to figure out how my blender works, the present sinks in. I wonder if he's gonna figure his way out before I can get to him.
Did Flynn just trap him?
I think Flynn trapped him in that room, in the reading room.
Yeah.
And he's wondering if Chase will escape or if he can come back and like take his revenge or something on him or interrogate him. Okay.
That makes more sense.
Okay.
And then TJ's like, "There's a back door." It's like Flynn's like,
yeah, he skipped out the back door.
Oh yeah, the back door.
Which makes sense. Which at some point there was a back door apparently, because he remembered a back door as Sam.
Yeah, but to Flynn's knowledge, there probably has never been a back door.
Maybe. I looked over and Daxton is putting a whole fucking apple into the blender.
With the stem and everything?
Some bitch, what are you doing? Daxton looks up, struggling to keep the lid on as the apple smacks hard against the sides of the plastic container.
Just like dunk, 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 dunk.
Didn't like cut it up or anything.
You didn't take the seeds out.
Cut the fucking thing up first. It's not gonna take a whole apple. The salamander still looks a bit dazed. I guess he's still reeling from his dream or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Don't just uh-huh me. Do it, you fucking slippery bitch, before you break my shit. Flynn's a lot.
Flynn.
Jenna's glaring at me from the living room. It's my shit. It's my house.
Jesus, man. I'm stopping.
He pulls out the lacerated apple, setting it on a paper towel while grumbling.
Gosh damn Asperger's and French fries, I swear. What? Okay, like Asperger's. Okay. Burgers and French fries.
Asperger's and French fries.
Asperger's and French fries.
What the fuck?
Gosh damn Asperger's and French fries, I swear.
Have we established that Daxton doesn't swear? Is that a thing?
It doesn't seem like he would. I feel like he might have already, but
I don't remember. Is this like a really bizarre attempt to evade swearing, or what's going on?
No, I just think he's talking. I think he's just talking about his Asperger's.
Asperger's and French fries. I don't know.
Because the Daxton's definitely on the spectrum for sure. I think he's referring to his own Asperger's.
I don't know.
But he's being cute about it.
Would Asperger's have more to do with Flynn's behavior than Daxton's? But even then, like, I don't think that's even a real term anymore. Like, I think that's archaic now. But like, but at the same time, it's like a dumb.
People still use Asperger's.
They still made like a dumb pun, like burgers and French fries.
Yeah,
like,
he's being cute. No, Daxton definitely has Asperger's.
Yeah.
Or I would say, like, with it, that's why he's like saying shit. Like, that's why he was just like, "Oh, no one likes you, Leo." Like, outright.
Oh right, because him saying that he really shouldn't have said it. Leo,
his no filter thing
was a very strange reaction.
Flynn just has anger issues.
I think a lot of that's just kind of rolled into like autism spectrum at this point. Like that specific term, I think, isn't really relevant anymore.
I know people who have it and still use it.
Maybe.
But it is considered just on the autism spectrum. But it's like a more specific way of referring to it because it refers to social issues or social issues specifically, and maybe not a lot of the other things.
Clench my rifle harder at hearing the old A word again. Turning, I make my way down the hall. There's a window in my bedroom. I'll watch there. He wants away from these people. Yep, the old A word again. So no, I think he's talking about Flynn.
I don't think
and
he
his
is.
behavior. I don't think he'd be reacting that way to Daxton talking about himself.
Well, I think if Daxton refers to himself with that a lot, he's like, okay, like, I get it. I can't, like, basically, like, don't get mad at me, I have Asperger's.
I think it's a call out on Flynn because he always just bluntly does stuff and he doesn't, it's his way of, like, not really, ever taking the soft touch to any interaction, always just coming out and saying stuff, even though it makes people uncomfortable, and at this point he should know that by now, and it really does, but still does it anyway, and just kind of has those kind of reactions, like his overreaction to the Apple thing.
I guess. Flynn's self-aware, though. I think that doesn't seem like that reads right.
If he's self-aware in a way where he still isn't able to correct his behavior, even while knowing he's screwing up. Turning, I make my way down the hall. There's a window in my bedroom. I watch there. No one else says anything. At least while I'm in earshot. I kick aside my hamper and pull open the curtains to peer outside. The view's not as good here, but I don't think I could stand being in there for too much longer. I tense, feeling the brush of fur on my arm. Carl's standing next to me, some freeze-dried ice cream in his grasp. Jesus, when did he get so quiet? He doesn't say anything, which puts me on the awkward position of being the one to speak. I wonder if he was just already here. Like he's already left. Fat ass. I mumble. Carl holds up the ice cream, which has a weird, wafer-like consistency.
I told Daxton I'd give him a bunch of hens cartons I got back at my house.
Your folks won't mind?
They won't notice. I could just say I ate it myself.
Yeah, they wouldn't doubt that. There's a light smile on his muzzle now.
Right.
I blink. You're... okay?
Not really. All this stuff got my mind off the interview, though. Just gotta want to go home and play video games without getting shot.
There's a silent pause.
Chase, what he said wasn't true.
Oh, I know. I let out a sharp exhale, closing my eyes for a second. I let the tip of my repeater rest against the floor. Thank you, though.
For what?
Defending me back at the office. The Ram shakes his head dismissively.
I don't think you'll see most of them besides Leo again after tomorrow, though. Like you said, none of this matters.
The truth does.
I guess your spring break hookup with Chase isn't going to be a long-term thing then, right? Aww.
Wasn't really expecting that to be brought up. Who told him?
What the fuck? It's so obvious. What do you mean who told him?
Or was it that fucking obvious?
Yes.
Is this an inconsistency?
Well, he brought up that he saw them fucking, but he brought it up to Chase.
No, he brought up seeing them at the truck, but I thought Chase admitted to Flynn that he told Carl. Because Chase told Carl about Flynn at Carl's house, and I thought that was why.
Yeah.
I thought that was why Flynn had that reaction I was quoting, where he's like, "You know, we have to live in this mess after you leave, right?"
Yeah, no, Flynn did get mad at him for.
I thought that was for him telling Carl and then telling Flynn that he told Carl.
Yeah. Well, I think
this
so.
might be an inconsistency, but I don't remember if that was a choice we made, so it might be just forgetting to check the choice if we did make one.
Choice. I don't think that was a choice that we made.
I'm not sure. I gotta check back. It's hard. He pulls out his phone, seeming to check to see whether my Wi-Fi is working yet. I grunt, clearing my throat. I just want to know what happened.
Dude, if I was Chase, I would just get in my car and drive back to Pueblo at this point.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
Why?
I locked his ass in the reading room.
Oh, goodness.
Carl's eyes widen, the Ram reacting much quicker than normal without his usual pot haze.
So that's where you went. I think it's a crime, man.
So is murder.
Dude, this is Chase you're talking about.
Yeah. I look offward, peering at the sorry state my room is in at the moment. I usually keep shit tidy, but now there's dirty laundry all over the place, and everything kind of smells musky. Nowhere near as bad as Carl's, but still. I'm just gonna talk to him.
No torture or anything, right?
Fucking hell, Carl. You really think I'd do that? I'm not Leo.
I was joking.
He rolls his shoulders.
It feels kind of like when we were kids again with all this stuff.
Yeah, I trail off like my mouth is refusing to speak the words in my head. He sets his not icy ice cream down on my nightstand, and I resist the urge to yell at him about the crumbs.
I love the texture of that stuff.
Meanwhile, Daxton starts up the blender again in the other room.
Man.
I don't think I've had freeze-dried ice cream before. I think I hear Carl sigh.
I'm trying to think like what I can compare it to. I feel like it's something else with that texture. What the fuck else has that texture?
Drywall.
Meringue. I was gonna say you don't eat like those little meringue cookies. Like meringue.
Like the...
It's like the topping on lemon meringue pie, but it's the hardened version of that.
Like those little burgers? I don't remember what they're called.
No. You're thinking of macaroons.
Yeah.
Macarons.
Yeah, the one that's confusable with the coconut thing.
Yeah, not that. Do you want like a hug or something?
I look down at him, raising a brow. Do you? He shrugs, seeming a mixture of numb and trepidatious.
I just don't want you to leave, dude. Not like everyone else.
Takes me a moment to register the shift in conversation. After everything that's happened, that's what's bothering him the most? The fact that I said I might leave town?
That's cute.
Man, we talked about this shit early.
I know, dude.
Carl rubs at his jaw and face with the base of his paws, pacing upon the carpeted floor.
It suck ass. That's all. Not in a good way either.
Not like in those CGs we saw. I fidget with my rifle, acting like I'm doing something with it while I think of what to say. You'd be alright. I don't know, you seem to be friendly and up with Dax. He even plays video games, does all that other nerd shit you like, and I don't.
You game sometimes.
Yeah, only 'cause you do.
I guess. That's the point, isn't it?
To play with my joystick? He scratches at his beanie, a bit of his head fur peeking out from the horn holes.
Horn holes.
Horn hole. Sucking horn holes.
Oh.
I say nothing, just watching him go back and forth. I wish he wasn't so nervous. I wish he'd just say it.
He's cool.
And you're not at all anxious around him.
I still kinda am.
You were talking about porn and shit with him within an hour of your first proper conversation. That's how you can tell you've made a good friend.
I mean, is that just not normal for people?
Yeah,
Like,
that's just what we do between episodes. Isn't that normal? That's what we just do.
I mean, definitely not the first time I met you, though. So.
I put on a smirk.
If that were the case, you'd be the most popular guy in the county.
Oh, fuck off, Bleeder. I snirk regardless. With a shift of my hips, I nudge him with my tail. Stop your treading, you're wearing out the carpet.
Sorry.
He stops, looking down at his hooves for a moment, then back to me.
If I stayed put, I'd probably start sticking to it.
Fuck you.
Because saying his carpet's sticky, that's gross.
That's really gross. I smile, though I try to stifle it. I always thought us lizard folk look fucking creepy when we smile. We don't really have the same cutesy appeal of most furry fuckers. Like Carl. Aw, he's cute when he smiles, Flynn?
Cute.
Is that what you're saying?
This is gonna sound really gay, but promise you won't leave, dude.
The seriousness of the request makes me pause. I look into his eyes and I feel like a selfish asshole. Carl's not fucking ready for this world. He's just gonna rot here. But I never really felt right filling this whole big brother role again after what happened. Carl shifts his weight from hoof to hoof, noting my lack of response.
I know I'm like a total burden, but...
You're not a fucking burden.
Huh?
You keep me from losing my mind in this shithole, you know that? You're the reason I haven't left already. Carl stops shifting, seeming to be trying to wrap his head around that admission. He opens his muzzle to speak, but I cut him off. Don't fucking go off again about how you're almost 21 and should be better on your own. Turning into an adult doesn't magically fix all the shit that fucked you up as a kid.
Dude, you're not...
He thins his lips, the ram looking rather awkward. I'll stay. For now.
For real?
That's what I just fucking said, you absolute dumbass. The next thing I know, Carl's fist is against my soft spot. I flinch back, irking instinctively, but there's no pain. Only that same usual tingly feeling. He's not punching me, he's poking me. The corner of Carl's lips curls upward in a sort of half smile. He nudges me again, this time in the shoulder. I raise an inquisitive brow, thumping him back. He steps forward, wrapping his arms around my torso.
Oh.
I'm left standing, a little baffled at what just happened, with Carl's thick arms around my midsection. His fur is coarse. Not quite to the point that it's pricking me, but it has its weight to it. I look down at the top of his beanie noggin, and it really is like he was a kid again. Real damn milksop.
That's another one of those words we don't really use.
Yeah. There's no back pats with the hug. He lingers. Full homo. I open my mouth to say something stupid, but I just bite my tongue. I don't draw back either. Closing my eyes, I empty my mind and just stop thinking for a moment. I lean forward, resting my chin between his horns. I get this weird sort of twisty feeling in my chest. Carl shifts again, as if trying to look up. Then, of course, the edge of his hoof steps right on one of my toes. Fuck! I suppress a grimace just as the ram lifts his head up enough to meet me eye to eye.
Sorry.
It's fine, I'm tough.
Hey.
Jenna's voice startles us both, and we pull apart. Jenna's ruining everything. You're ruining everything. How are we gonna get floral with you here?
Floral? Gosh, that sounds bad. I don't like that one either. I don't like a fucking chunk. What was it? What was the chase one?
Chunter?
Yeah.
Sea hunter?
Yeah, chunter. I don't like chunter, and I don't like floral.
Floral's the community name for it. You're stuck with it.
Oh goodness, floral. I got you a floral arrangement.
I pivot on heel to see the fox staring at us with a look I can't quite place. Surprised, bemused, even a bit wry.
Who's ready?
He looks at both of us. Carl acts like he's checking his phone.
High school me would be squeeing right now.
Squeeing!
Squeeing!
She said squeeing.
Is that a word? I've never heard that word before.
Yeah, no, it's when you squee.
I've never said squeeing.
Do you know what squee is?
They squee. Yeah, like excited noise.
Well, that's, you know, it's grammatically obvious what we're going for then.
I swear, there's something in the tap water.
Because everyone's gay.
Yes.
Sure is a 100% saturation rate of gay people in this homophobic town. I opened my mouth to protest and then just let out a quiet ugh. I have to will my tail not to curl in on itself.
Then again, I'm pretty sure you don't drink plain water.
Seems to be looking up at Carl. I can practically see Carl's blush with the fur on his cheeks.
Flynn, when you got a minute?
What? I clear my throat, putting on a more neutral expression. What do you want?
I need to talk to you. Not about this.
Her eyes flick back and forth between us. She's drinking in the sight like Carl downs energy drinks. What the hell does she want to talk to me alone about? I glance down at Carl, then back. Yeah, I'm still gonna keep watch after, though.
Is that what you were doing?
She turns, departing as soon as she finishes speaking, not letting me get a word out.
Is that what you were doing?
Fucking typical. I rub my hand over my face.
It was just a hug.
It just started with a kiss.
Hug.
How did it end up like this?
It was only a hug. It was only a hug.
Carl's voice is quiet, but still rings defensive. Fuck her.
I'm glad you're staying though, dude.
Yeah, I'll get that tongue in my throat. I grunt, reaching over and squeezing the pudge of the ram's side. He grins instinctively, trying to push my hand away. Stop. I give his pectorals one last pinch before giving him a nudge out the door to my room. I guess I'm supposed to feel embarrassed right now, but I don't really. I'm just glad to have this loser around. Daxton will be good for Carl if I do go, but I don't want to think about that right now. As I turn to leave, I look at my bed and I can't help but see him lying there. That vacant look in his eyes, my cum still spattered on his neck.
Oh, God. Dude.
He means Chase.
I know he means Chase. Okay, first of all, you were just hugging Carl, so like, come on,
He's
dude.
remembering Chase being in his bed, and he's remembering his fucking
way to immediately change gears.
He's
in like
remembering
2
his decision
seconds.
face. What a description.
Vacant. I feel like something about this kind of depressing. Like the vacant look in his eyes, the cum spattered on his neck. It's so like it's
not good.
It's very like unromantic.
Yeah. Fucker was playing me the whole time, and for what? To get off?
To get that cum on his neck? It's all he wanted.
That's all it was. It's spring break, and he, for some reason, watched enough scaly porn to want me. Consequence free, right?
I like how they still call it scaly porn in this universe, too.
Sound of clinking silverware in the kitchen pulls me back to the present.
So does that mean that Flynn looks at furry porn?
Probably.
Scaly porn and furry porn?
Most of the people he knows. I straighten out my pants, waiting for my cock to fully retreat before heading back to the kitchen with my rifle.
What a sentence.
Carl did a number on him.